Vetëm për fotokopje çka punë?
Jo, për vërtetim.
Për vërtetim pritni pak.
The faces of the Kosovar refugees only begin to tell their story. Some show signs of despair. Others appear confused. The only ones seemingly unaffected by the incredible turmoil are the children, whose resilience is reflected in their smiles.
Hello.
By the tens of thousands, ethnic Albanians have poured across the border from Kosovo into Macedonia and now live in uncertainty in refugee camps. They tell of being driven from their cities and villages by Serbian forces.
By the megaphone and by in the door saying you need to leave to your home.
And they report seeing horrific sights as they fled.
Dead bodies lying beside the roads.
Police
people burning down houses and cars.
This man says Serb forces shot a friend who refused to leave his home.
Policia masked man, the police masked, they killed him. He says, my friend says, this is my home. And then they killed him.
Many of those who fled are now living here at the Brajda refugee camp in Macedonia. It is the largest of 8 such camps, with an estimated 26,000 Kosovar exiles filling over 600 tents. On this day, the acting president of the American Red Cross gets a first-hand view of the conditions. Steve Bullock has been involved in a number of humanitarian relief missions throughout his career, but few, he says, can compare to this one.
It's a great challenge for us. It's one of the greatest challenges that I've seen in my time.
In one tent, there are 3 families living together. Sanitation throughout the camp is poor. The German Red Cross runs a field hospital that has managed to control an outbreak of disease. One tent serves as a makeshift delivery room where within the last week, 7 refugee women have given birth. By luck, or the grace of God, says the director of the hospital, catastrophe has been avoided.
As long as we have a good water supply, and we have enough water by now, we have a relatively good sanitation system, and the people have food, and the shelter is, it's not excellent, but it's adequate.
But Macedonia is a poor country which calls itself an emerging democracy. Unemployment here runs at about 30%, and many Macedonians live in poverty themselves. The refugee crisis has stretched the small republic to its limits, which elicits a desperate plea for help from the president of the Macedonian Red Cross. A translator interprets for his American counterpart.
And the humanity of the Macedonian population is great in providing assistance to the refugees, but all capacities are full.
The American Red Cross has already promised $10 million for relief efforts in the Balkans, and its president can't commit to more.
So we will certainly take into consideration the request that you have made.
For the refugees, relief can only come in the form of leaving this tent city.
The Kosovars standing in this line are registering to see if another country might want to take them in. They can sign up, but there's no guarantee that they'll be offered refuge anyplace else.
Alinda Lika and her family are luckier than most other refugees. They have been given a green card in Macedonia and have been taken in by a host family. But she talks about returning home to Pristina.
I don't want to stay here. This is not my town. I want to go there. There I live, there I grow up there.
Eddie Arruza, WGN News.
My labret right here, I got my tongue.
I've had both my eyebrows done. I've had my septum.
My tongue, my septum, both ears.
I got my nipples and I got 6 genital piercings.
This is the state of body piercing in 1998. There's a lot more of it, and in virtually every part of the body. It first begs the question, why?
I like the way it looks.
My house is really strict and I don't know. I'm rebelling, I guess.
I had nothing better to do, so figured I'd get pierced.
All right, question number 2. Wasn't it painful getting a hole put through your lip, tongue, belly button, and nose?
It hurts good. I guess that's the only word for it.
We just put clamps on and they'll pull the part out and then stick a needle through, and it feels like a pinch.
Questions 3 and 4.
What do your parents think about this?
They don't care about the ears or anything, and they don't care about the tongue. They don't let me wear like my nose and the nose ring in the house.
How do you eat with that in your mouth?
Just regular. Once in a while, I'll bite the hoop in it, but it doesn't bother me at all.
If what you've seen and heard so far intrigues you, you may want to head to one of a number of shops around Chicago, like this one on North Avenue, with a bustling piercing practice. Bob Jones has been a full-time piercer for the last 4 years.
People like the way it looks aesthetically. A lot of times people enjoy the attention that they get from it. So there's a lot of different reasons.
23-year-old Tiffany House contemplated getting her navel pierced for 3 years. When she decided to do it, it took less than 10 minutes. Here's how it went.
Okay, I'm gonna take the needle out. Before you know it, we're gonna be done.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Take a nice deep breath. Exhale nice and slow. You're done. That's it. All finished.
It doesn't hurt.
But the upsurge in all kinds of piercings has led to an upsurge in piercing-related problems. That's where Dr. Robert Berchtold comes in.
The main thing I see are people either with acute infections from a piercing. Infections around the nose and the mouth can actually lead to serious central nervous system complications like infections in the brain.
There are some kinds of piercings that we can't show you on TV. In fact, we can't even go into much detail about them. They involve male and female genitals.
I'm doing more of those only due to the fact that people are taking it to the extremes now. Not that they haven't been doing it before, but now so it's people are getting tired of the standard, I'll get navel eyebrow.
You can have problems with your urinary function, you get urinary tract infections. And certainly it leaves you more open to sexually transmitted diseases also.
Eddie Arruza, WGN News.
Good morning. Welcome to Adelante Chicago. I'm Eddie Arruza. Today we're going to discuss a variety of issues with two of Chicago's Latino journalists. But foremost among those topics will be Vicente Fox. The president of Mexico will visit Chicago beginning tomorrow. This comes 1 year after he swept to victory, ousting the party that had ruled Mexico for 70 years. But after 7 months in power, Fox's popularity has taken a nosedive. Alejandro, let's start with you. You spoke with President Fox this past Monday. You had a one-on-one interview with him. 7 months into his job, how does he rate himself?
He believes that he's doing a fine job.
My guests this morning are all experts about adoption. Nydia Sanchez is a mother of 7 children, 5 of whom she has adopted, and one of those adopted children is sitting right next to her, Maria. And we didn't get to talk to you in the first segment. Maria, you were 11 when you were adopted.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
You were in a foster home at the time?
Yes, previous to this foster home, I was in another one.
And so when you were adopted, what can you remember about that experience? What can you share about that experience?
Happiness.
The whole issue of viejas is a little more gray than it is black and white. Many Puerto Ricans want them off the island, but there are many different reasons for it. Why don't you give us a little bit of background on that? Now, you were telling me an interesting fact before we started the show. California has 12 consulates to deal with the entire state.
Yes.
Texas has 13 consulates
that's
to
correct.
deal with the entire state.
Yes.
Illinois has 1 consulate to deal with 4 states,
Yes.
even though we have the 2nd largest Mexican population here in the Midwest.
Yes.
Why is that? Why has the Mexican government not realized that you need more help here?
Well, actually, the government is aware of the situation.
Well, that is Bello Knock as he looks while performing with the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. But look, kids, this is Bello Knock on Adelante Chicago.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to
Welcome.
have you here,
Thank
Bello.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
have you
being here.
Oh, I'm the guest.
You're the guest.
Yes.
We had to rearrange the set so we could fit the hair in.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, you like that. Tell me about the hair, first of all, because I have to ask about
that is, can you keep a secret?
No.
Neither can I. Okay, wait, I'll tell you. That's Rogaine and Viagra mixed together.
It's estimated that nearly 60% of people with Alzheimer's disease will wander and become lost. Many will do so repeatedly. But while some cases of wandering are clear, others may not be so easy to spot. You may encounter a shoplifter forgetting to pay, or an erratic driver having difficulty interpreting road signs. In addition, the person may also be lost.
On December 2nd, Melissa Allen's mother, Natalie Leary, left her brother's home to meet a friend for dinner. When she didn't return by 9 p.m., her brother Bill became worried.
My Uncle Bill called me. It was late. It was after 11 o'clock at night.
He explained to me that my mother was missing and had been for several hours. He had called the police and they filed a missing persons report.
The bottom line with Safe Return and law enforcement is safety, saving lives together.